I didn't know where I was going to take this video, but I got a couple customers coming in today at the shop. So we are at main shop, powder coating shop, and I'm going to tackle this while I'm waiting on people to get here. So I got to get down into this section. I just keep putting it off. Really, I just got to take the grinder out and start cutting, line up some stuff and start cutting. But I took the camper mirrors off. I think I'm getting rid of these because when you hit things or somebody hits you, it jacks up the entire door. So these are major dents down here now in the door. So I think what I'm going to do is put a flap wheel on a grinder, knock down these high spots, just grind them away, and then, I don't know, maybe I'll start welding them in. And then, what do we got in here? I gotta worry about that. Cut this little section out. Let me see if I got any sheet metal. But, yeah, I think I'm gonna pull this panel off and go from there. Seems like a good place to start. At least get behind the door panel so I can see what I'm going to light on fire if I start welding on this. We'll start there. I'm going to start trying to separate those switches, but it's a little tedious. I think I should be able to sneak that through, just like that. Now I got a little more room to mess around with these if I want to get these out. Don't know if I'm going to have to yet. I need to figure out if the window is going to need to come out. I really don't want to pull it. Oh. Maybe we'll just have the water and fire extinguisher handy. Can I eat anything if I cut into this? Should have enough room on the window. A little worried about some of the trim. Get the belt line off of here. At least up and out of the way. I don't need it fully out. Just get it away from any welding, and then I'll have to jam something behind here to kind of protect that glass. I think that's a decent start. Let's start cutting and grinding. And maybe, eventually, some welding. Lost a clip. Start up here. Right, so I took out the big high spots down here. That's going to need some filler, but got a nice flat panel. I got to figure out sheet metal and then a grinder. How I want to cut this little section out here. Don't have a ton of room, but I think I can just do a rectangle, and then we'll body filler that too. Should I put a tape line on there, or should we just go for it? I think we should just go for it. Ooh, there's a little dent down here, I didn't notice that. So ideally, just gonna remove all of this instead of trying to body work it. Something along the lines of that. And then I was looking for sheet metal. I have a cut up section of an old fender because I'm a hoarder and save a bunch of extra crap. I think that right there should work. So we'll cut this out as cleanly as possible. Unfortunately, I don't think I have any small cutters. We'll use a worn down angle grinder and go from there. It's the worst that can happen. Here goes nothing. 3/4. So one more pass up here. This one's gonna be kind of a pain to get to. Maybe I'll go this way. All right. No fire. Winning. So now I have a nice little template. I'm gonna let that cool off, but we just cut out that whole section. And I'll have to figure out what I want to do here. This needs to go away because that's gonna light on fire when we start welding. I think. Seems like it would. And we just got a little bit of surface prep cleanup. It should be alright. Why is that light still on? And you can't. You'll have to chase that one down. But we'll let this little piece cool. And I'll lay that out on there. Cut myself a little template. And we got some body work or welding to do. Recycle your old metal junk. Save everything for situations like this. There's our patch. So we'll section out a section part of this. I don't know exactly. I'll just cut right on the outside side of the line. On the line, but on the hugging the outside. And if we mess up, we got plenty of material to do a couple more. So get to grinding on this thing. Then we'll file it down to fit the rest of them. I'm actually going to grab some gloves. This thing's sharp. The old knee workbench. How did we do? Which way did this go? This way? Grab a magnet. Alright. Magnet, door panel. The way this is kind of laid out, we just got to figure out how. See, I'm upside down here. Goes this way. I got a little bit more of a gap than I'd like on this top corner, but I think we can make do with that. Pretty close down here, pretty close here. Trim this a little bit more. Lift a tiny bit, but we should be able to zap that in with the welder. So I'm happy about the top line here. This looks okay. Trim this a little bit. Trim this corner a little bit, both ways. And we'll have to be kind of cautious burning that top section in. Okay, I think we're pretty much there. New piece. Drops in, pretty nice. Definitely have a little bit of welding and love to do. Love making to this panel, but I feel like this is actually in pretty good shape. So, start burning this in, I guess. We'll tack it up at the top, try and pull that bottom out just a hair. Ideally on the magnet. I think, and if you're a body guy, correct me in the comments because I love learning new things. But this Should work. Might grab a bigger magnet here. But I think I'm going to start on this far left corner. Right here. Get that corner tacked in. And kind of hinge this top one. So get the top two in, and then I'll work my way to the bottom. 4-corner tack maybe. And then just tack, 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 tack. This will take a while. Let me go grab the welder and get set up. So I took that extra panel. Tried laying a couple tacks on here just to kind of get the settings right. I don't know if we're exactly there. We'll find out pretty quickly. So we're gonna lay this out. I'm gonna grab one more magnet and try and do this and start with this top corner. I got the welder here. I don't know what I'm doing for a ground yet either. I gotta figure this one out. But let's try and lay these out. Just get a semi-equal gap here. If it's a little low, we'll have to kind of mess with it, but like I said, I'm just going to start on this top high corner. You guys can hopefully see some of that. And then grouts. What am I going to do for a ground? This hole big enough? Convenient. Terrible. But we'll give that a shot, I think. Start right at this corner. Fail. Don't know if I got a good enough ground here. Not loving these welder settings. A little more heat. Well, she's tacked. Alright, can I get a better ground though? I think that might be part of the problem. Oh well, I'm just gonna keep going. It's the worst that can happen. That. How do I pull this out a little bit now? Just give me enough room to get underneath. lets me try things like this? Somebody should have said that's a bad idea. Kind of anticipating it'll stay a little low, but there is a little bit of a crown on here. Welder's working better now. I think that should work. Alright, definitely not perfect. I haven't really done any body work like this before. Fabbed panels, and we redid the van a while back, but I did not do that good a job. I'm trying to do a little bit better one here, but got the welder adjusted much better. You can tell on the lower welds versus the top couple when we were starting. I think that ground probably grounded a little bit better too, but that's kind of where we're at. I don't know if you can see the waviness of this on the GoPro. It doesn't actually look too terrible. So I'm gonna keep burning this in and we'll come back when that's done. I don't know if that's gonna be time lapse and I'll just leave the camera going or actually give it a minute, but it is a pretty small section, so I don't want to put a ton of heat in here. Well, I messed that one up. I got the patch panel welded back in ish, so we'll start grinding that down a little bit. Just trying to keep the temps down. I'm running 35 wire. I think the last time when I was doing the van, I had thinner the on here, which for sheet metal tends to work better. What is this, 28, I think? 25, 28. Real thin stuff. This is way thicker. Just having a hard time, but the hole's fixed, but now I got a dent. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm not a body guy, so I'm kind of learning as I go. It's got to be fixable somehow. I just don't know what I'm going to do yet. Am I going to try and see if I can get behind there and push that out a little bit? I know it's going to be... It's everything you don't want to do when you're welding in panels. Tried keeping the heat down, but maybe I was not patient enough already. So, bummer. Oh well. Live and learn. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes and now I gotta deal with it. But eventually it will be a nice straight truck. I just gotta figure out what to do now. So, let me think on this one a little bit. Fixing holes and making bigger dents. Well, in the attempt to fix it, I made it worse. So we're gonna try a plunger here, see if I can get any of the main dent parts out of here. Not optimistic. But it's body work. So, make it worse to make it better. And there's no better way to learn than messing up and having to fix your mistakes. So, I don't know if my plunger trick is working. That might actually be moving a little bit. So next time I will be doing my smaller gauge wire and less heat. That 35 is a little thick, I think, for body work, but worst part, I had it sitting on top of that spool. I didn't even think about it. No such luck. But I want to get better at this, so I'll keep jamming away and messing things up. It's actually moving. Still there, but time to start grinding. Well, I royally messed this one up and made it way more work. So I just finished scuffing more. You can kind of see now that it's sanded. You can see this dent that kind of pulled from the heat, and it definitely pulled in up here too. So now I get to keep chasing it. But got this one welded up. I got a couple more little spots I'm gonna burn in there. And then I might as well just keep going down here. And then I'll worry about fixing these problems after the welding's done. This door was in good shape until I ruined it. But we'll get there. It's a learning process, and why not mess up on your own stuff? So I think end result will work. I'm learning how to do all of this too, so I'm figuring it out as I go along. I learned I should have switched to a smaller gauge wire and been a little more careful welding this one in. Maybe probably put a little bit more of a crown in it too. But patience that I don't have, which is why I will probably make several more mistakes along the way. But we're gonna keep after it, so I'm gonna weld up this last little bit, fill this bottom hole down here, and then we'll go from there. I shouldn't have to worry about it down here because this is so close. I don't have the flex that I do in the middle of the panel. Bad on me. How's it going? There's more sanding done. These ones won't be too bad. I got the holes welded up here, so that's going to be skim coat and then feather, obviously. It's going to be what it is, and I took the paint all the way out on this just to get beyond the dent point, because I don't need that causing more problems. I might actually sand this down a little bit more right above this weld line. And I'm going to mess around with the torch. I think this might be a really bad idea, but I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to try torching this area and then blasting it immediately with compressed air and see if I can get anything there to pop. Heard that it might work sometimes. Here goes nothing. It's hot. Much for a quick little fix. Whoever said it was a good idea to let me try and do body work? Terrible, terrible decision. More tools. stuck on? Oh, the window. Do I have room to get to you? Where is this third tab? I'd have to pull the window regulator. Locking things. Alright, that's way more work than I want to actually do right now. Did I drill the rivets here? Like a painless dent tool, I think. That's helpful for getting that out. I just don't know. Well, that took way longer than I wanted it to. So I did reach into the door and kind of pounded it out. It's still wavy, far from perfect, but we have a lot of bare metal exposed right now. So I'm at least gonna put another etch primer on here. I'll highlight all of my mess ups before I go home. And then we'll kind of carry on and see what happens. I apologize, you guys don't have the best view right now, but deal with it. I'm tired. I did not plan on doing this all day. But just a quick little coat of etch primer, which will also be kind of like a guide coat for how bad this is. Pull you guys out here. Rattle can stuff, of course. Trash the shop. Trash myself. God, I hate body work. Props to those of you in the business that do this on a daily basis. Just trying to protect the bare metal that is going to sit out overnight. Especially now. It's cold in the mornings. Put a couple quick coats of primer on here and I can see all of my bodywork imperfections already. Thought I was looking pretty good. But now, not so much. Hot, I'm sweaty, I'm covered in dust. Can't breathe because I didn't put on a mask because I was half inside and outside like an idiot. Wear a mask, don't be like me. That was dumb, and I'm going to be regretting that the next 3 or 4 days, but let's pull this thing out and see what it looks like in the sun. Hot tip, it's going to look worse. Thank goodness for beer. Actually doesn't look nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. I'll take that. You guys see that down the body line? It's not even a filler primer. That's close. It's actually a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. Definitely needs 1 or 2 more coats of thin coats of Bondo. It's close to building that up, but I'm gonna finish this, clean up my gigantic mess that I made over here, then head home. And we got a couple more hours of daylight, but I think if I get home eat some stuff, might gain some more energy and come back out here. So we'll see what happens.